Dennis is turning.
I'm alright, 'cause I'm okay. Doesn't matter if my beard is gray. Just listen, I have something to say.
Dennis is turning.
I'm alright, 'cause I'm okay. And this old goat has something to say. So just keep learning, for Grandpa Dennis is turning.
Hello, I'm Dennis Pervinsky, and welcome to Grandpa Dennis's Woodturning Studio. Today I'm going to do a shallow bowl out of this burl. Now, the first reaction that I had was I want to get maximum size and use up all of this burl. However, it's oblong, so it's a foot this way and it's only 9 inches that way. So really the most I can get is 9 inches, but then if I do 9 inches, I'm coming to here or to here. So the first reaction is to try and get all of the burl because it's expensive and it's rare. However, you've got to draw the line sometimes and say, let's get the best we can out of it and use the rest for something else. I've had a few questions about these burls in my videos, and one in particular says, where do you find the wood? And my comment is basically, you either get it from a company that sells burls, or you get it from a logging company that doesn't deal with burls, and they treat that as scrap wood, or you go out in the bush and you get the burl off of a dead tree or a tree that has fallen, or you get the burl from a local tree pruner that usually prunes trees in your city, and there's burls on that. Whichever way you get burls, it's going to take a lot of effort and it's going to take a lot of expense. So these things become rare and they become expensive, especially if you take into account all the effort you took to get them. So we want to make the most we can out of them. I'm also planning to cast this in resin. Because there's a lot of voids in here, I don't want to turn that down completely because I'm going to lose the figure. Basically, the figure in this burl is about that thick. So what I'd like to do is use this as the bottom, but have the resin come right to the bottom and fill all of that in. So when I do turn it, I'm going to have resin and highly figured burl at the same time. So let's get to the lathe and see what's up. Although there was no bark on this burl, there was some dirt and dust, and the wire reel really cleaned it up well. I don't know if the camera can pick this up, but there's a green tinge to this. I don't know what that's from. Right in here. But anyway, this fits in the pressure pot, so away we go. It's time for casting, and I've got the designer epoxy products here. This is the deep casting resin, part A and part B. And I've got copper brown for a color that's going to go in. This is the burl after I rounded it up. And I've taken my bucket and it's got the mold release sprayed in already. The burl's cut to shape. It fits nicely into the bucket. The vacuum chamber not only takes air out of the resin, which is introduced during the mixing process, but also out of the burl as well. My vacuum system can go to a maximum of 28 inches, so it's getting close to that. This is not a very deep pour, so I have lots of room for the bubbles to come up. But I'll still release the vacuum to dissipate those bubbles. Whoa. Look what happened. Oh, yuck. That sprayed my acrylic top. Oh, I'm gonna have to take that off and clean it. I released the vacuum too quickly. Well, I haven't done that more than twice before. So I used alcohol to clean it off. I could have used acetone. However, acetone would etch into the acrylic and make it cloudy. And I'm talking from experience. I had a face shield that got splattered with CA glue, and I decided to use acetone on the face shield to clean it off, and it just turned the face shield completely cloudy, and it was useless. So don't use acetone on any acrylic or plastic kind of things. That's why acetone comes in a metal container, not a plastic. I'll continue to cycle through the on-off, because turning the vacuum off, dissipating the vacuum, also dissipates the bubbles. I'm going to release it to get the bubbles down again, but this time I'm doing it slowly. So I'm going to leave this sit for half an hour to 45 minutes. Then I'll take the vacuum off and I'll put the pressure pot top on, and that'll be it for 3 days. Weight was really glued on. I needed some heavy tools to get it off. And no, I'm not a biker. This is not a fashion statement. The red bandana and headwear are actually cooling wear that keep me from overheating, and they work well. I glued a waste block onto the bottom of the piece using 2-hour epoxy, and now I'm truing up the tenon to fit the profile jaws on my one-way stronghold chuck. With the casting on the chuck, I can true up the outside and shape it. Due to the high amount of resin in the piece, I need to use carbide tools. Regular high-speed steel tools will dull too quickly. I get most of my carbide tools from huntertoolsystems.com. I'm using a high-speed steel bowl gouge for the final shaping. Resin does dull the tool quite quickly, and I need to sharpen often. If you're enjoying this video, please subscribe. YouTube uses the number of likes as well as the number of comments in order to determine which videos go on their homepage. I have a question for all of you. Do you prefer wood turning with resin casting or with no resin? Drill bit I've got put into my chuck, which is in the tailstock. I'm going to measure the distance from the bottom, where I want the bottom of the bowl, to the front, which is this part right here. And I'll measure from the point down to the shaft, put a mark in there, and that's the depth I'm going to need.
Responding in a statement saying the EU was ready to keep talking to the US, but adding that it is ready to safeguard
Turning out the inside of the bowl can be tedious work and requires the use of several different tools. Because there's a lot of burl in the first part of this hollowing process, I use a gouge. However, near the bottom there's more resin and I have to go to a carbide tip tool. Some final shaping and smoothing out is done with a scraper.
It's now time for the first coat. All the burl part seems to be fairly soft and very porous. So I'm going to be needing several coats on that.
The overhead lights in my studio caused a glare on the bowl, but you'll get a better view at the end of the video.
Here's the finished bowl. The resin swirls on this are just dramatic. And the burl detail is amazing. 9¼ inches wide, 4 inches high, and 3/8 of an inch thick for the wall. If you like the video, subscribe. I'm really encouraging people to hit the like button if they like the video, because YouTube pays attention to the like button and to the comments. And that's how you get positioned on their homepage. So I'd appreciate support there from the people that are viewing this. Also, I'd like people to answer the question, do you prefer to watch the videos involving resin casting, or would you prefer to see just the wood turning without the resin? Please send me a response. I want to gather some information on that. Stay tuned for the close-up of this. You'll see how dramatic it is.
Grandpa Dennis is turning.
I'm alright, 'cause I'm okay. Doesn't matter if my beard is gray. Just listen,
I have something to say.
Dennis is turning.
I'm alright, cause I'm okay. And this old goat has something to say. So just keep learning from Grandpa Dennis's turning.